Elare Malaka! Shouted Nikos good-humoredly to his friend as he came running up the stairs of the subway. Patroklos pushed his glasses a little lower on his nose, as if he had to see without breaking his line of sight, to be sure his eyes weren't playing tricks on him. Then he grinned broadly. Yasufile! They hugged and laughed boisterously as people streamed past them. Nice to finally see you again. Nikos pointed to the Stavrakori cafe across from the small green space that separated the exit to the subway from the small one-way street. Cafes and taverns lined the opposite side of the street, joining with wide seating areas between houses and the sidewalk. It almost seemed as if half the city was on its feet, as demonstrated by the crowded tables. Heating mantles glowed red, chasing away the cold winter air of the Greek capital. How was the Philippines? Fantastic. It was warm, there were no hurricanes, and the dives were fantastic. Patroklos enthused, punching his friend in the side so hard that Nikos' leather jacket creaked. But the women took first place. Panayia Mu. You might as well tell that to the Parea. Nikos laughed, and together they walked across the street toward the cafe. Their friends, Maria, Kostas, and Evangelia, were seated at one of the outside tables, separated from the pavement by a small railing of reeds. They appeared to be engrossed in an animated discussion about the current government and did not notice the new arrivals. For New Year's Eve, there were only 3 hours left until the new year. The air was very clear and the sky astonishingly cloudless. Nikos had left work early so as not to miss a minute with his best friend. The 3 weeks had seemed like an eternity to him. "Hey, there's our big traveling stallion," Maria called out good-humoredly when she spotted Patroklos. She tossed her mane of black hair over her shoulder and stubbed out her cigarette before jumping up and hugging him. Kostas, short, roundish, and with sparse hair, came next, then Evangelia, the beauty among them. Once they were all seated and the noise of loud conversation had enveloped them like an oral cocoon, they ordered a round of beer and pistachios. Patroklos talked about his vacation in the Philippines, and Nikos loved listening to him as well as watching his friends enjoying the stories, laughing boisterously and having a good time. The Nea Unia district was no longer part of the core area of Athens, but when viewed from the Acropolis, it was still in the middle of the city. Many white-collar middle-class people lived here, the part that was slowly but surely slipping toward the lower class since the Euro crisis. The houses here were not as fine as in the north, but the cafes were cheaper and the people more approachable. Here there were illegal fireworks on New Year's Eve and dancing in the streets as the champagne corks popped.